And that's day one. There has been discussions, and the tension is quite there. But there has been a message of preserving these discussions, but also evolving institutions. We spoke to actually the foreign defense minister of Ecuador, Mrs. Espinosa, and she told us that reforms within the United Nations need to happen and leave those cold era decisions that have been made. Let's have a listen.
And I do believe that there are leaders around the world, people from public opinion, which a recent poll said that more than 70% of people in different countries and different regions of the world do want to see a stronger UN, and they trust the UN. And of course, it needs to be revitalized, modernized, and this is true. And I think the first step, I would argue, is building trust. Trust in the organization, trust in the people working for the organization, trust from the public the organization is supposed to serve, and trust among member states. This is an organization that has pulled different forms of government in. When the charter was signed 80 years ago, we didn't have such a vibrant civil society. We didn't have local governments. We didn't have the private sector. We didn't have a strong academia and knowledge generators providing to feed into the multilateral decision-making of the UN. So this is it's a whole different reality. Today, we are not in a Cold War era anymore. We are in a multipolar world. We are in a world where middle powers have a tremendous traction, where the so-called global South, the global majority, has a strong voice. It is a complete different configuration. So the organization has to adapt to the new times. Trust, of course, but efficiency and impact. We don't need more resolutions and more paper, but we need more action. We need to listen more to the people that the organization serves, and we need greater ownership from member states to take the decisions they need to take. And for that, we need a leaner organization, perhaps, to focus on impact and to focus on results more than bloated, sometimes bureaucracies, quite frankly. So sometimes it takes a crisis to rebuild, and we are in a moment of rebuilding where the voices of countries in the global South are extremely important, where middle powers are important, and with the traditional powers are absolutely needed in this conversation.
I want to ask about China. China has become a central actor in global governance and development. How do you assess its evolving role within the United Nations system?
Well, China is not only supporting and talking about the importance of multilateralism, but investing in multilateralism. China has become one of the most important contributors to the system, not only to the regular budget of the UN, but to the peacekeeping operations as well. So it is not only, the narrative about supporting multilateralism with China is very much engaged since the beginning, but also becoming one of the big contributors to the system. And they are known, China, I remember Minister Wang Yi's speech last year here at Munich. He was extremely bold about saying we need more and better multilateralism. And then came, for example, the very recent global governance initiative from China, the Global Development Initiative. These are initiatives basically that are designed to work together. They are designed to cooperate. China has become a great ally and broker of the developing countries and the developing world. And having been ambassador in New York and Geneva and president of the General Assembly, I can tell you that China has become an indispensable ally when we think about renewing, strengthening the multilateral architecture, including, of course, the UN.
So so the headline so far is less illusion and more institution building between countries and organizations, but also managing rivalries with dialogue and discussion and multilateral cooperation. So a lot to go and to think about through this big opening, actually, of the Munich Security Conference. And we have a lot more to hear today and also in the next days to come.
Evangelo, thank you for that. Our correspondent Evangelos Sipsas in Munich.